The dresses you see today were worn by Sister Christina and her cousin once removed, Grace Evans. The bridesmaid dress includes a two-piece gown, a hoop skirt, and a petticoat. The flower girl dress includes a hoop skirt, petticoat, dressed with sash and gauntlets. Her mother, Loretta, spent 1.5 years creating these and the other dresses for the wedding and based them on ball gowns from the 1860s. Although they began based on purchased patterns, they needed a series of adjustments, rebuilding, and research to make them actually fit the women and girls wearing them. The ivory and burgundy fabric is silk shantung, and the dusty rose is polyester shantung. The lace on the sleeve was specialty dyed in New York City. The project was a much larger one than Loretta anticipated, but she feels a sense of awe that God provided her with the knowledge and talent to make these amazing garments which enhance the natural beauty of the 6 lovely girls on Sabrina and Terry's wedding. My husband and I met at a Halloween party in 2007. I'd nearly decided not to come. Half an hour before the party, I put up my hair, threw on some sandals, and draped on a white bedsheet. Instant freak. That night, I spoke briefly with a gangster named Pierce, whom I'd never met. After a few more conversations in the following weeks, Pierce started taking me out and never stopped. Pierce was adamant about not seeing my dress until the day of the wedding, so I took the opportunity to make a little inside joke with a Grecian dress. So much skill and love went into the making of this dress, thanks to Anina and Grandma Rose. You may have heard Anina's name mentioned many times in this, as she helped many people with their dresses, and this last dress is a dress that she made recently. It isn't actually going to be worn as a wedding dress, but it is a wedding dress that was rebuilt, and she made it partly just for this event, so it's very special. This gown is made from an antique Edwardian skirt from around 1905, 1909, as far as I can tell. It is worn by Dar King. It was given to me by Susanna Eccles Hill. Reshaping the skirt left me with some pieces, which I used for accents to the bodice and sleeves. The silhouette was inspired by the early 1800s, but fitted to a modern figure. I think it is wonderful to make custom gowns, and I think it is very special to be able to incorporate fabrics and pieces from a bride's ancestors or family into a new garment for a new era. I have used vintage jewelry in headpieces and gowns as well to commemorate beloved family members. Headpiece custom made from polymers, freshwater pearls, Swarovski crystals and wire, with a veil of English silk tulle. It may feel strange to put on wedding clothes after the celebration day is over. How come the garment that held such magic now lacks that special glimmer? We are taught that marriage totally transforms us, giving us the opportunity to grow beyond the first youthful states and change us in profound and wonderful ways. This transformation begins on the wedding day and changes a man into a husband and a woman into a wife. Here's a quote from Conjugal Love, where Swedenborg relates a conversation between some angel husbands and wives and the transformation from a bride into a wife. Some men said that the relationship a man has with a woman before marriage and the relationship he has with his wife after marriage are similar. When they heard this, their wives became very offended and said, "They are not at all alike. The difference is as the difference between fantasy and reality." To this the men retorted, "Are you not women as before?" To which their wives responded with rising voice, "We are not women, but wives. The love you feel is a fantasy love and not a real one. Therefore you speak in fantasy terms." The men then said, "If you are not women, still you are married women." But they replied, "In the early days of marriage, we were married women. Now, however, we are wives." So I just liked reading that quote and thinking about the joy and the beauty that shines forth in the dresses on the day of the wedding. But afterwards, when you put on the dress, it doesn't quite hold that same glow. And the reason is because something changes about the woman. She goes from being a virgin bride, excited to live her wedding day, and she really changes into something else, into a wife. And the women in heaven understand this, and they're trying to explain it to the men and saying, no, we are totally different now. We are something else. So marriage is very powerful and a transformative thing, and it was just nice to get to see these dresses and be reminded of the beauty of the wedding day and the covenant sealed between these men and women. So thank you for witnessing this display.